So today I'm going to start the older project. Okay, how means before the standalone, how project were there. That thing we are going to see. So for that, let's go to a folder. Now in my system, I have Angular 90, so I won't be able to create very older one, but the older folder structure we can create. Okay. So in this cmd ng new. Okay. We have to create a new project, but with older folder structure where we get the app module. Okay. So ng new, let's say old Angular, enter. Sorry, we have to create the older one now. So ng new old one, old Angular. This is your project name. So if you don't specify anything, it will create the latest structure with app config. Okay. But if you want the older structure, older architecture with app module, so you have to say hyphen hyphen standalone false. Okay. So to create the project with the older structure with app module, you have to create this command ng new project name hyphen hyphen standalone is equal to false. Okay. Enter. I will say no. CSS. No. Enter. Okay. So now what it is doing, it is creating my older folder structure. Let's open this particular project into our VS Code. Again, things are almost same. Just some things are different. Okay, that only we have to understand. Okay, so this is your older folder structure. If you see the outside, again, same things are there, angular.json, package.json, and remaining things. Again, we have public folder there also, here also. In SRC, again, we have app folder, index.html, main.ts, and style.css. Same things are there. In app component, in app folder, in newer version, we used to have app.config.ts. Now here we have app module.ts. See, this is module. Okay. Then in newer version, routing file was a constant file. But now here, if you can see, it is app routing module.ts. This is also again module. And here we have the array. Let me open our project also so that parallelly I can show the difference. Fine. App. Now here you can see we have app.config.ts. In app.config, what we used to have just the provider in newer structure. But if you see the older structure, we have app module instead of app.config. And in app module, we have the provider. But apart from that, we have declaration array, imports array, and bootstrap also. So this is like which component will be by default. So that we have to specify over here. App component is going to be our default component. Okay. So apart from provider, we have two extra things, that is import and declaration. Now what, again, both are the array. In declaration, what we can add? Let's hover on it. Oh my God, it is not suggesting. So
Mute,
in declaration, we
mute
can have
YouTube.
component, pipes, and directives. Okay. Component, pipes, and directives. In imports, what we can have? Just the module. Only module we can have. Okay. npm install is not done. It done, no? Why it is giving error still? Why this is giving error? Let's open it again.
You need to close that. Yeah.
Yeah. Old Angular. Now it is recognizing. Okay. So in new structure, we have app config. In previous structure, we used to have app module. In new structure, a routing file is just a constant file. See, it is just a constant file. It has just the array, nothing else. But in the older structure, we used to have a module file. See, it was a module. And again, array was there. See, in newer structure also we have the array, export constant route. And in older structure also we used to have the same. Okay. But now this was a module. App routing file was a module. Okay. Now, what is module first of all? So, module is a way by which we can group multiple things in a single container kind of thing. Module is a way by which you can group multiple things in a single entity or single container you can see. Okay, we are going to see, you will understand why I'm saying like this definition. Fine. So understand, in older structure, we used to have app module and app routing module.ts. Fine. Now, let's run this project first. NGS. Okay, in app folder, I'm creating a folder, components. Okay, 2200. So by default, our application is running. By default, again, our app component is going to be our parent component. Fine. So this is that app component. So for now, I'm removing everything. Just router outlet, I will keep it. What's the use of router outlet? What do you say when someone asks you like, what is router outlet? Hmm. What you will say? What is router outlet? Array? What is router outlet? What's the purpose of it? Array router outlet is
Or
a directive which is responsible to load activated route component. Correct? Yes or no? If you don't have router outlet, that component will be loaded. Whatever the route you have activated, or even the URL, whatever the route name you have, that component it won't load. Okay. Now, in component folder, I'm creating some component. Ng generate component admin. Now see over here only. What is the difference over here? Let's say if I in the newer folder structure also I will create a folder, component. See the difference. Okay. This is the newer folder, newer structure. Ng generate component user role.
the
Um,
update in module app.module file
right. So see
in
in newer
older
folder
file.
structure, what it has done, it has just created the component, 4 files. That's it. But if you check the older structure, it has created the 4 file. But apart from that, what it has done? It has updated app module.ts. See the last line. So when in the older folder structure, when you create the component or directive or pipe, it used to add that class into your app module.ts in the declaration section. See over here, admin is over here. Got it? Now let's try again.
Mm.
Ng generate component users or user list. Enter. See, once your component gets created, see class added over here in the declaration. So as I said, what do we have in declaration? Whatever the component you create, whatever the pipes you create, whatever the custom directives you create, all will be registered over here. In newer one, we don't have to register it anywhere. Wherever you want to use it, you use it. Okay. Now, this is the first difference. In old project, whenever you create the component get registered into your app module in the declaration array. Understood the first difference? Okay. Now, let's say I want to render, currently I have created two components, admin and the user. Let's say if I try to get the selector of this admin component, that is app admin, and I try to render, let's remove the router outlet. See, in app component, I didn't imported anything, but still I'm able to use the app component. It is not giving me error. Can we do the same thing in the new project? Without importing the component,
No, sir.
we cannot use it, right? But here we are able to use it. Let's save it also. See, admin work is coming. Let's try app hyphen user list. See, both components are rendering in the app component, but we didn't import anything in the app.ts. Understood the major difference? In old folder, in old structure, all components were present globally because all components were added in the app module. App module is a, you can say, heart of your Angular application, is the main file where what are the components you have created, what are the pipes you have created, what are the directives you have created, all used to be registered over here. So if you want to use one component into another, there is no need to import because it is already imported in your module file. So you don't have to import anything before using the component. You can directly use it. Just like in app component, I'm directly using both of these components without importing anything in the .ts. But in the new structure, if you want to use one component into another component, first you need to import it, then only you use it. Got it? This is the major difference in old structure and the new structure. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's try to create our directive also. Let's create pipe. Remaining things are same. How component behave, lifecycle event, service, everything stays the same. It's not something new. Okay, just some things are different. Generate pipe. Let's say NA pipe I'm creating. See, you created the pipe, two file set is created and it has updated the app module. Now, if you check the app module, see, pipe got added in the declaration. Clear? Now, if you want to use the pipe, let's say you have H1 and this H1 you need to add the pipe. So NA, what's the pipe name? NA only, no? Sorry, it's not a directive. Interpolation. See, by default it is coming. So no need to import pipe also. You can directly use it over all the project because in your, you can see like it's a global something. It is already added to the app module. So you don't have to import it in your component again. Clear? Just like that, we can create a directive also. Again, same thing. You don't have to import. You can directly use directive anywhere across your application. Understood the first major difference? Clear,
Yes, sir.
everyone? Okay. Now, when you want to do the API call integration, what is the first thing you have to do for API call integration? What do we do for API call integration?
So we are just creating like a constant folder
No, no, no. I'm
and
saying
where we have just declared
you
the
want to create, you want to integrate an API. What's the first thing you will do?
Provider HTTP client.
Right? Provide
yes.
HTTP client. Where you do that? In newer project in your app config. See, provide HTTP client we used to do. Okay. Now same thing is over here also. Comma, provide HTTP client. Okay. No difference. But if your project is 16 with Angular 16 up to Angular 16, is this we got from Angular 17. But before that it was HTTP client module. See, now it is deprecated. Previously we used to do this. There was no need of this. Getting it? Previously, if you want to do the API call integration in app module, you used to add provide HTTP client module. Okay. But from Angular 17, this got deprecated and this is the new way in the providers. Either your new project or the old project structure. In the provider array, you need to add provide HTTP client. But before Angular 6, up to Angular 16, we used to do like this. HTTP client module we used to add. Clear? If you want to use
Yes,
your ng model, what we do? if you want to use your ng model, what
So
we
we
have to
need to
do?
import we need
Forms
to
module.
import
Correct.
forms model in import.
So now, as I said, app module is your heart of your application. Whatever you need across your whole application, all you import over here only. So here only you import forms module. Okay. In the app module, I have imported forms module. Now in admin also, square bracket, round bracket, ng model. Let's create some variable. This I will bind it over here. See, ng model is working. Got it? So there is no way to, if you want to use ng model, only one time you need to import your forms module in your app module. That's it. Now in all the component, you can directly use the ng model. For reactive form, what we do? If you want to use reactive form, what you do? Which module we import?
Reactive form module.
Right? Again, over here only. That's it. Now in your all component, you can use reactive form. Understood? So now this is better or the newer is better? Which one will be better?
So for new one, it's like it's required file size is really less, right? But in older one, file size is more. So like everyone have
Yes.
the advantage and disadvantage like that.
No, see, if you think of your perspective like in the older structure, you import only once, that's it, right? Now in every component, you don't have to do the import. Everywhere you can use the your ng model and the reactive form. But in the newer structure, wherever you have to use, just a minute. Okay. So in newer structure, in every component we have to unnecessarily import. Correct? So many places like in every component we will have this import repeated again and again. But in older structure, you import it only once and that's it. You don't have to import it anywhere else. Right? So for ourselves, it looks very easy because you just have to import only one time. Right? But in newer structure, everywhere, wherever you have to use it, you have to import it. That's it, like unnecessary repeated work we have to do. But if you see the performance wise, the newer structure is very fast. Why? Because let's say React, you have in your project, you have 100 component. In all 100 component, you have the forms. Okay. Now, in your app module, you have imported forms module and reactive form module also. Out of your 100 component, let's say only two component are using reactive form. Others are using template form. So now, even though you are using reactive form in only two component, still this will be available across all the component. So is it like, what do we say now? Key, even though you are not going to use it, still reactive form module will be available across all the project. Is it good then? See, you have 100 component. In 100 component, you have the forms. Okay. And only two components are there where you are using reactive form. In all the other component, you are using template form. Okay. So now tell me, like, reactive form module object will be available across all the component. Doesn't matter they are using it or not. So is it a good thing or bad thing?
No, sir, bad
Right?
thing.
If you are not using it, unnecessary this object is available. Right? So this is the difference between standalone component and the without standalone component. So whatever you need, there only you will import it. So you are not creating that object unnecessary available across your application. Whatever the component need reactive form, you import there only. That's the use of React standalone component. Got it? So if you talk about performance wise, that is better. Unnecessary things are not available across the application. Wherever you need it, you import it and use it. That's it. Got it? Okay. But
Yes,
most
sir.
probably you might also be working on this older project only. Anyone working on the new standalone project in your company? You have the newer version or the older version?
Yeah, I work in standalone. 18
Standalone
only
true.
I'm working.
Okay, 18, no?
Yes, yes.
But
Hmm.
again, like not every project have migrated to the standalone. They are migrating up to latest version, but again with the older structure only. This with app module only. Okay. So because so many things are there, na, which are available like that. Because so many, it again, if your architect is good, he knows the importance of standalone. If your architect is not good, then he will think like this is better, importing it in a single place. Okay. So it based on your lead or architect, how he thinks and what knowledge he has, like that they are going to do. Or sometimes projects are also very complex that they cannot suddenly change into standalone true. Fine.
Yeah,
Now,
actually, we started 1 year ago. So I was there in the project.
hmm,
So we followed all the newest versions and
hmm,
sta-
Signal and everything they're using.
standards. Yeah, yeah. We are using Signal then.
Okay. Then your architecture or leads might be better. So they know the importance of signal and the standalone component also. But most probably like so many projects are there with they are still with the older version only. Up to 16 they will migrate, but after 16 they are not daring to upgrade. Right now, in one more change is there, ngif. Okay, let's say if you want to use ngif, is div visible. Okay, let's say this text box I want to hide and show. So star ngif, I can directly use it. No need to import again. See, in standalone component, what was the rule? Whatever you import, you use whatever you are going to use, you need to import it. That's the rule of standalone component. But in the older structure, there was no that rule. You can use everything anywhere without importing anything. Everything was globally available. You use ng class, ng for, ng, everything you can use without importing. But in standalone component, if you want to use something, you need to import it. Even router link also. In newer structure, if you want to use router link, you need to import it, right? But here you can directly use it. See, it's coming. I don't have to import anything. That's the main difference. Otherwise, remaining things are same. Whatever the topics we have learned, it is same. Just the rule, like whatever you want to use, you need to import it. That is not over here. Because we have app module, everything is available globally. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is the only difference. Otherwise, whatever the topics pipe, service, directives, component, lifecycle event, API call, everything stays the same. Just folder structure is something different, and that rule you don't have to import anything if you have to use anything. You can directly use it without importing.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So, do we do like without ng model using while two-way binding without use of ng
Without
model?
using no
ng model,
ng
two-way
model
binding.
for two-way binding only it is there, na. If you want to use two-way binding, we can do, but we have to write the custom code. If you don't want to use ng model and still want to implement the two-way binding, you have to write the custom code. Means you will create a variable, you will use property binding, and on that text box change, you will update the variable using ng model. But that is a custom code.
So like, yes, sir. So could you please tell that code, like how we can do that
It's
custom
very
code?
simple. See, what is two-way data binding first? Whenever you change the text box value, your variable value get changed. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Whenever your variable value get changed, your text box value should also get changed. Okay. So if you don't want to use this, here you will use property binding value. Okay. And then let's say input. And you will pass dollar event over here. You are passing event. Then whatever the value you get, that you will assign over here. Event.target.value, no? Okay. So see, I'm not using ng model. Okay. By default, it is showing demo. And let's print the variable value also. See now. I'm not using ng model. Okay. Getting it? Still it is behaving the same.
Yes, sir.
So custom code.
So,
Hmm.
so like, what is the use of dollar event?
Event object. Here you will get the event object. Everything, whatever you have in this event. From which element this event got trigger. You can get that element access also. Event object. Dollar event is nothing but event object. This is not from Angular. Normal JavaScript concept only. Okay. Event object you guess. Then event.target. Target means from which element this event got trigger. You got the element and you can read the value. Dot value. Whole event object. If it is a click object, you will get change event object. From which element this event got trigger. Everything. Event data you get from dollar event. Understood?
Okay, I got it, sir. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Fine. So this is an intro question. Like sometime they might ask, without using ng model, can we achieve two-way data binding? So this is the example. But like let's say you have 50 text box. So is it a good way? You will call input event on every 50 elements. So that's why we use ng model. Why to write the custom code again and again when you have something ready-made available? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Clear everyone? The older structure. So that's why we don't have to waste time on learning older structure because remaining things are same. Just how things are different over here that we need to learn. And that's importing and everything. Apart from we don't have any concept which is over here and which is not over there because it is the same Angular language. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Anyone having any doubt? Okay. So those who are new and those who directly started with standalone true, so make sure you come create a project and try the same thing. At least have a workaround, right? Create some component, try to use ng, try to use ng for, okay? Try to do the routing. So you will get the idea. Like in new structure, we had to import everything, but here you don't have to import. So that thing should be clear to you because most probably you are going to work on the older project. Okay. Fine.
Yes.
Anyone having any doubt? सुशील किसी ने कनेक्ट किया था वैष्णवी और
यस सर।
स्वराली कहाँ तक आया
अभी उनको आईडी का इश्यू था, राउट का, वो
हम्म।
सॉल्व कर दिया। आगे का कर रहे हैं अभी, मीटिंग का और पेमेंट वगैरह।
तुमने नहीं कोई कंपोनेंट लिया एक कोई कंपोनेंट तुम ले लो कंप्लीट कर लो
मैं डायरेक्टली प्रोजेक्ट ही कर रहा हूँ सर।
स्टार्ट से ना
हाँ।
ओके चलेगा ठीक है. Okay, so I have added Sushil in your group. Sushil is from previous batch only. He knows React also and Angular also. So if you are practicing and you face any issue, you can always connect with him also. Okay. If he is not able to resolve, again you can come back to me only. Okay, fine then. So evening we will connect for JavaScript. Anyone having any quick question? Okay, fine then. Bye all.
Thank you, sir.